ചിറകിൽ പൂമ്പൊടി ചൂടും ശലഭം പോലെ ഉണരുന്നു നീയാം പ്രണയാരണ്യം നീർത്തും പൂവിൽ അറിയുന്നു ചിറകിൽ പൂമ്പൊടി ചൂടും ശലഭം പോലെ ഉണരുന്നു നീയാം പ്രണയാരണ്യം നീർത്തും പൂവിൽ അറിയുന്നു നീയൻ പ്രാണനിലെ ഏതോ ചില്ലകളിൽ താനെ പെയ്യുകയാണോ മഴേ ഈരൻ പൂങ്കാറ്റോ മഞ്ഞോ നീർമുത്തോ എന്നെ തഴുകും നിൻ ശ്വാസമോ ചിറകിൽ പൂമ്പൊടി ചൂടും ശലഭം പോലെ ഉണരുന്നു.
I'm indeed honored to start with this particular song composed by Ranjit Meleppat, which he did for the movie Pershikaran. And today on Just Seriously, we are really honored having a pleasure of having a music composer, producer, and the person behind my studio, my dear friend Ranjit Meleppat. Welcome to Just Seriously Voicing Thoughts with me, Kriss Venugopal. Welcome, Ranjit.
Thank you so much, Chris. It's an honor here to be here, and in fact, it gives me a immense pleasure to be here and talking to you, especially because you are a very, very, very important person in my career. So yeah, thank you.
Oh, that those kind words gives me the first few opening lines of this particular show because having met you during 2011 when I joined Radio Me, I saw you as a production person who's very quick, adept, handling the production so very easily. A person from SAE with a diploma in music production, a person with experience with Spice, and all that happened. But something which I we never discussed probably is the onset of music into your life. How did you actually start off with music production? That is the one question which I want to start with, and how you actually wanted to go forward. That also we would like to know.
Wow, that's an amazing question. Actually, first I need to actually talk about you because this is more than it's more than an interview or it's a more than that conversation. I don't think this can be a serious. Never ever can be a serious discussion. I would say thank you so much for listening. I can see 19 people are listening to us, and thank you so much all of you to actually come take this time and listening to us and. Uh, uh, Coming first of all, I need to speak about how I came to Dubai and how I've heard this big voice on air. Then I think that is very important. Before and after that, I'll talk about my musical career and all this my diploma or all this my my qualification. Because this is important, I think 2007 is where I actually came to Dubai for a visit visa, just to come on a visit visa. I came on visit visa and I was just roaming by, and I was actually fascinated by the look of it and the feel of it. And for me, it was a one of a kind time to see those many lights because I landed at night, 12 o'clock.
Mhm.
And then when I got into the car, I was listening the repeat telecast of Hit 96.7 from Breakfast show, and
Okay.
that was Chris' voice first. I listened, and I was like, "Who's this person who knows everything? Who talks about everything?" And he's the master. I could actually, whenever he comes on, it was so nice to listen to his voice. One, and he was talking very sensible. And third, he was music, and he has a very music in his voice. And I'm not exaggerating because I'm talking to him right now, because I'm probably this should not sound like we are actually talking about ourselves or just talking about the other person. But this is very important, and this was a very important phase in my life because I never thought actually I would settle in Dubai for 10 years. And then I started listening to it 96 because I was listening to mainly my friend and a brother Riyaz 96.7. He was the head of production, and that is how I started actually listening to radio and the kind of production they used to do. uh, I was very fascinated and I was very interested to know the sector of radio, because 2007 is where actually in India the radio started, and I was actually attended an interview in Big FM in Chennai, but I wasn't sure whether I wanted to do work. I wanted to work on radio or I wanted to pursue music as my career, because I started in SAE in 2003. I was in Chennai and I did my diploma. Then I was working with Vidyasagar for like 3 months. And Vidyasagar, that I am sure he wouldn't even know me because I was like an intern, basically, helping the basic cleaning of the studio. That's what I would say. I was cleaning the entire studio space, and I was not even getting an opportunity to actually get inside the studio. I think that when the door opens, when that singer comes to inside the studio or going out, that's the time only where I could listen to some songs. Which and I still remember the Gilly movie. I don't know. I'm sure the songs were pretty very famous, and that time they were that song. Appadi Pod, yeah, Appadi Pod song was recording, and KK was the singer, and I was sitting outside the studio and listening to the whenever the door opens, I could listen Appadi Pod, Pod, the glimpse of it. So yeah, so that's how I started my journey, by sitting outside the studio and then listening to the songs. And then I moved to Gopi Sundar Studio Sansa. Then I obviously my when that time, Ausepajan sir, Gopi Sundar was a programmer with Ausepajan sir, and Vismaya Tumbat, Police, and then Mulluvalim Maum. All these movies were, those song productions were happening at that time, and the background scores were happening. And I was very fascinated about at that time because at that time, the thing is, uh, at that in that age, I was probably 21, 22. I was the kind of musicians were coming there, like Amal Raj, Keith Peters, Vikram. I was very fortunate to listen to the kind of music we're producing. So that thing already was stuck in my head that, okay, you know what? I think I should be in the music line. But economic wise or financial wise, you know how that at that point of time, an engineer or sound engineer could make money at that point of time. So probably then my parents were telling me to come back to Kerala. Then I was there for some time. Then I joined Kairali TV as a recording engineer. Then I moved to Asianet
Hmm.
as a broadcast engineer, and with I used to do some of their serials, music production and all, and the background score, all the title music and all that at that time. Then 2007, like I said, I came on a visit visa. Then, like Mr. Herman, he was owning that frequency 105.4 Radio Spice.
Radio Spice,
So
yes.
I was the first employee of the station without zero knowledge about radio. But the mentor, or I was more kind of an ekalavya, I could say, because the Riaz is someone who used to help me, and you were actually the kind of productions in the morning show, the breakfast show with 96.7 FM, when I was listening to that. And at the point of time, Kritika was also doing a show in City
Morning shows.
1016.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. So I think the English Breakfast with Desi, man, that was a super hit show at that time, you know. And I think that those were the moments I really got inspired. And Neeraj was one of the production guy at that time in City
Yes.
and Hit. And the kind of work which I used to hear from them, I got inspired. Have no radio as such experience at that time, but I could actually somehow manage to, by listening this, you kind of you people, and I could manage something in Radio Spice. Then I joined Radio Me in 2011. That's the time I saw the the big person. Actually, the Radio Me time. We were actually 6 months, almost 6 months. We were hired and we were sitting in a hotel, and they're saying that we will get to the frequency, or we'll get to the studio one day. One day, we all were waiting, and I think Chris was joined maybe 10 days before the launch, and he just changed the entire scenario. We had an amazing plan of launching, and he changed the entire scenario of launching, and we were very fortunate to and I should say we were, because me, Pratish, Adil, Ashwati, Sajna, Leo, I, Swalika, and we all were like really looking forward for that one day. And very, 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 very happy to launch. Very, I still remember that day when we launched with Chris voice saying, Radio Me 100.3.
Ranjit, we're talking about Radio Me. We had a lot of jamming sessions happening, like in between, whenever we got time. I really found the kind of music you create is you have your own style, and probably that led you into going into movies later on, having your studio and production and all that.
Yeah.
But one thing I really want to fathom or probably understand is that uh, the radio production is entirely different from the song production, which you are an expert in. Because even we had planned for a movie, and the launch music which you did was amazing.
Yeah.
I would really want to know your experiences in, say, radio production with voices and singing as such, like when you produce music for movies and for songs and for such kind of. Probably I've been seeing you work with great singers, great musicians. Recently, I saw a lot of work which happened with Badra. So many different aspects, many different kinds of voices. Probably for Pershikaran, you worked with singers like Karthik. So those experiences of working with singers and voice artists like us, like entirely different field. But what do you feel as a production person?
Oh, okay. That's a very deep question. So I think the experience I gained from actually Radio Me itself, because Girish Nair, he was the at that time he actually told me to actually create the jingle for Radio Me. That is how I met for the first time Rafiq Ahmad. And he, as all we know, he's a legendary writer. But that was the first time he was writing a jingle. So the whole, as you know, the idea of a jingle, a radio jingle, is basically to communicate a particular
The feel of the radio.
feel of a radio, or where we stand, or the positioning of radio within a minute's time. And it should be so interesting that every top of the hour the jingle comes in, and you need like 3 4 varieties of it, as morning show, afternoon show, evening show, night show. You have like 4 varieties of timelines, and you need to mode map the jingle and all that. So
To
it
add
was
to that, I would really tell the audience who are listening. Uh, he even created a jingle for rain, where we had special rain version. Whenever it rained in Dubai, the Radio
I
Me changes its feel, and Ranjit's rain version would be played.
Yeah, I was so fortunate. Actually, that's what I was coming to. I mean, working, that's how I started. Actually, there is a concept, and there was a strong concept, the concept, and they were very clear about what they wanted at that time. And then I went to Rafiq sir, and me and Girish were actually behind it for like more than 2 days to actually get to know what we wanted in the lyrics. And Rafiq sir was very, very, at that time, at that point of time, he was writing more of singing, more of songs. So he was like, how do I actually write a concept for 1 minute and then communicate the same? So, but he did it so beautifully. And then Karthik sung it, and we had like 4 versions. And like you said, we used to add on the jingle ka versions were like, when there's a rain, there's a rain version, there's a pongal, there's a pongal version, there is a vishu. And whatever, Deepavali, we used to add crackers to that jingle. and very I must say this, like as a programming head, how you actually gave me an opportunity to actually excel in or do my work. That
I
is
would
very
say
important.
otherwise, because the kind of work you used to give, I was more fortunate to work with it.
No, no, no. It is very important because the thing is, as a musician, I don't think any musician cannot be in radio. That's what, because radio works in a complete different way, and you are a master of it. And I think I've learned a lot of, especially when we are talking about radio production. Rima one drama was like, that's a life changing event for me
Right.
because the
Let
episode
me
will
add
go.
a very simple stuff.
Yeah,
Ranjit was producing a particular music bed, as we like, for what
yeah,
the jocks would speak on, the
yeah,
music which
yeah,
will play on the background.
yeah,
And when it was played, I happened to ask him, "This sounds more like a storytelling bed.
yeah,
So should we not start a story?" And overnight,
yeah.
Ranjit's magic with music and the kind of imaging which he did, the next day onwards, we went on for about 100 episodes of 2 minute drama every day on radio. And hats off to you for having had the patience to do everyday 2 minute radio. And that was really
Yeah.
amazing on your part.
Radio drama, and that's what I was coming to, because I don't think people should sound it wouldn't sound like we are just going buttering each other, but I must say this, because Chris will come at 12:45 and without even a script in his hand, and I'll ask Chris, what are we going to do, where is Rima now? I was like, okay, you know what, just let me wear the headphone and then I'll tell you where Rima is. I was like, okay. And the episode will air at 1:30, 2:30, then 4:30, and there'll be a repeat telecast at 7:30. And the kind of situations where Rima used to go, because Rima is a person who basically we use it was Chris complete creative idea where he can you just explain the story so
Yeah,
that people
the
understand?
story,
Yeah.
Rima is a girl who comes to Dubai searching for a job, and her life in Dubai. That's the whole story about. And the fun
Yeah.
part is that Rima was never heard talking. Her mind voice, which was voiced by me,
Exactly.
it was just a female character being voiced by a male
Amazing.
mind. Well,
And I still remember Rima had a visa issue and she had to fly to that what is
Kish
that,
Island.
Kish
Kish Island.
Island.
So all sorts of stories. Those who are in Dubai, they will know. And at this moment, I'd like to thank Semi, Kabir, Sahil, Manu, Vanaja, Subodh, Joy, Varsha Joyce, Fanaiki, Kanimori, Srinivasan, Beatrice, James, Srijesh, Farat, Avani, Mustafa Amin, then Sakshi, Bhagyalakshmi, Saumya Santosh, Rashid, Ragita, Satish, and Chaitanya, and all others who I think there were many more in the starting also. I would like to thank each and every one of you for joining. And yes, Ranjit,
Hello. Hello.
yeah,
Sorry.
continue. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, coming to movie music composing, I think by when I was working with Radio Me itself, I was talking to you and Adil, and we used to share a lot of, and Girish Nair also, because we all are coming from that one area where we wanted how we were not actually not just doing a radio. We were actually giving an image or visual image experience to the people. That's what we were trying to. So that is why this whole image of this mind voice of Rima, and Adil and Mahi, Ashwati, we all used to come up with different kind of funny promos where you used to get a visual feel from the radio production itself. So that's where I feel I got actually more experience in giving background score, or even giving musical touch to different. I was thinking of more visual possibilities. That's where I thought I'll try my luck in movies and all that. So that's why I resigned from 2013. I resigned from Radio Me and I moved back to India. Then I started a venture called My Studio in Cochin with my partners Murali and Vishnu. So that my first movie was Persia, and there were like Tamil version and a Malayalam version of it. And Malayalam version, there were three songs, and Karthik and Josna was singing the Malayalam version, and Karthik and Chinmay was singing the Tamil version. And then for the first time, Sri Ram Parthasarathi was singing in a Malayalam song. And then there were like 10 singers coming together to sing one song, which started with Vidyadharan Master, then KL Sriram sir, then more than Suraj Santosh. A lot of 10 singers were there for that song. So coming back to how I see both the productions from the production angle will be, I would say, radio production is it's like a hospital work. It's like emergency work. The script will be coming in the last minute, but there are times where you have the content will be going at 10 o'clock, and the script is at 9:45 on your table, and the voiceover person will come at 9:50, and the music will be coming at 9:55, and the spot goes on air at 10 o'clock. I think Chris is one person who I can blindly say that one of the legendary radio person who in the industry, where I can just close my eyes and say, Chris, this is the voiceover. He'll do it. He'll give me 10 versions of it. Maybe one commercial, he'll give me 10 versions, and the client will say yes to all those 10 versions. That's what all used to happen, because the kind of experience he's coming from. So I was very fortunate, because in radio production, voice, or just if you have just a voice, that's not enough. The modulations and how you actually go to that situation, because at times you might be over a phone, you might be in a mall, you might be in a traffic, you might be in a theater. So all this, you need to voice it accordingly. So you need to visualize at that point of time in a radio, when you're voicing it, you need to visualize that you are in that, and in that you are at that place and all that. So it's a different game altogether. I cannot even compare the music production, the film music score or production with radio, because I can talk a lot about radio, because it's almost 10 years I was in radio only. So that is one thing. It gives me a kick all the time, because when the spot plays on a radio, you get a feel of the person over the phone, and whether you, if it's a night slot nahi, I mean, if it's a commercial where the girl is talking at night, you need to put that cricket sound effect, and you have to make the sound like a telephonic EQ. You need to put that EQ and then make it sound like a telephonic sound. And it's a different game altogether, because the script
Right.
will definitely have that whole, it'll only have a vague idea, and then we sit together and then we decide where we need to place the characters and all that. So I think it's a very long big subject to talk about.
Right, wonderful. Now, apart from being a music production person, a music producer, a music director, a radio personnel, you have a different facet where I was always amazed at the way you sing, because during the jamming sessions, all that happened there, the kind of singing you do, more than production, that has always enticed me. All your songs which you compose, when it is in your voice, it sounds so very different. So, for the benefit of all those people who love music and probably singing, we would like to hear your favorite song, probably as to start with.
Oh, thank you so much, Chris. Actually, so I consider myself not as a singer. I consider myself as a composer. I think Finney has joined. Finney is someone who's I really admire his
Welcome,
voice.
Finney. Welcome, Finney.
Yeah. Thank you, Finney, for joining in. And yeah, coming to the singing part, I think 2002, I was in, I moved to Calicut for my college, and I was in Christian college for my graduation. That's the time where I actually got inspired, and I got moved by the legendary Babu Raj and Babuka. That's what we call. And Babukas, when we go to Calicut itself, when I use I was not aware about so many Babuka songs actually, to be honest. But then I actually got connected to people who are actually was in his clubs and all that. That is how I got into the that ragas of Bimpilasi and Bhairavis and his magical Yaman compositions where you have like more than
Yes.
60, 70 varieties of songs. That is where I got connected to Babuka, and I think my blood or only think about if you ask me, my inspiration or my god in the music is Babuka. So I think I will start with one of his song. I have a harmonium here. I don't know whether you'll be able to hear it. ഞാൻ കുറച്ച്
Yes,
ഒന്ന്
yes,
play
yes.
ചെയ്തിട്ട്
Please.
then I just
Yeah, yeah.
I'll sing a song. So yeah.
Meanwhile, I'd like to welcome all those who joined recently. Fini, welcome. After a long time, I'm getting to see you. Sukumar Najish, Reshma James, thank you very much for joining. And it's indeed a pleasure to host you all. Just seriously voicing your thoughts with Kriss Venugopal, we have the music composer, producer, and founder of my studio, and my dear friend Ranjit Meleppat. And we are going to experience a different kind of feeling when he uh, plays his fingers, or rather, his magic works on the harmonium. I've seen him work with the melodica, I've seen him work with the synthesizers, I've seen him work on the system with all the production stuff. But as a singer, when you listen to him, you will understand why I adore his singing.
Thank ഓർക്കാതിരുന്നപ്പോൾ ഒരുങ്ങാതിരുന്നപ്പോൾ ഓർക്കാതിരുന്നപ്പോൾ ഒരുങ്ങാതിരുന്നപ്പോൾ ഓമനെ നീ എൻ്റെ അരികിൽ വന്നോ ഓമനെ നീ എൻ്റെ അരികിൽ വന്നു ഇന്നലെ മയങ്ങുമ്പോൾ ഒരു മണിക്കീനാവിൻ്റെ പൊന്നിൻ ചിലമ്പൊലി കേട്ടുണർന്നു ആ. Hello.
Yeah, we are all ears. We are still waiting for more. I remember at the time we worked on the song which was shared on LinkedIn today, this morning, when we recomposed the song. I still listen to your voice, the way you sing, your highs, the quality of your singing. I really admire. So I would. We have about 2 minutes still. I'm supposed to speak, and then the audience will have their requests, and they'll
Oh, okay.
have their interaction with you.
Okay.
This is when we are voicing thoughts. We would give opportunity to all our listeners also to really interact. But one thing I really want to understand is that when you're talking about Babuka, when you're talking about the true ghazal tradition of Calicut, and great singers coming from Calicut, and the kind of singing, probably the Hindustani touch in Kerala boils down to that particular area. We would like to know your favorite rag and a composition in your favorite rag. We'd like to listen to that.
Oh, that's a let me tell you, actually, as a composer, I wouldn't say. See, the thing is, the ragas. Uh, there are so many ragas, and I've been listening to Madhuvanti a lot. I've been listening to Bhairavi a lot. I've been Yaman is something which I really would love to listen, and Hindolam, where I have actually composed my song in Puri Kadagan. That's one song which basically the പൊൻവെയിലിൻ കസവായി പൊടിമഴയുടെ നൊഴിയായി മൺവീണ കമ്പി പോലെ ഒരു വഴി അതിൽ പുഴ പോലെ ഒഴുകുന്നു കളിച്ചിരേ. This is Hindolam is one of my favorite raga to actually say because it has a very happy and very romantic vibe to it. And Bhairavi, of course, ഇത് Bhairavi പറയാൻ I think Chris is നമ്മളെ when we actually had spoken to about your film, I actually had
The whole
done.
movie was supposed to be done in Bhairavi. I
Yeah,
remember.
Bhairavi. And Bhairavi, I love the raga, and I think with your permission only, I took the one of the composition
Yes, yes.
which I did for your film, and I took that into Puri Kadagan song as a title track. And Bhairavi is something which I really love. I'll play something on Bhairavi. So
Ranjit, I think we are having the harmonium is not heard so clearly.
sorry.
There is some kind of a glitch where the harmonium was not heard clearly.
Oh, okay, okay. Can I? I'll just keep it here. Is it?
Yeah.
Can I? Is it clear now?
There is a bit distortion, but I think how about uh, can you get a little more closer to the harmonium, probably?
Yeah, it's actually closer, but
Yeah, yeah,
I'll sing the song then.
yeah.
So I don't know whether if you heard the song Kanaga Pradiksha. Then there is it's not so Pranasaki is one of the very well known composition
Famous
of Bab.
compositions of
Yeah,
Baburaj.
yeah, fair.
Yeah, yeah.
പ്രാണസഖി ഞാൻ വെറുമൊരു പാമരനാം പാട്ടുകാരൻ ഗാനലോകവീഥികളിൽ വേണുതുമാട്ടിടയൻ പ്രാണസഖി ഞാൻ എങ്കിലുമിന്നോമലാൾക്കു താമസിക്കാമിൻ കരളിൽ എങ്കിലുമിന്നോമലാൾക്ക് താമസിക്കാമിൻ കരളിൽ തങ്ക കിനാക്കൾ കൊണ്ടൊരു താജ്മഹൽ ഞാൻ ഉയർത്താം മായാത്ത മധുരഗാന മാലിനിയുടെ കൽപ്പടവിൽ മായാത്ത മധുരഗാന മാലിനിയുടെ കൽപ്പടവിൽ കാണാത്ത പൂങ്കുടിലിൽ കൺമണിയെ കൊണ്ടു പോകാം കാണാത്ത പൂങ്കുടിലിൽ കൺമണിയെ കൊണ്ടുപോകാം പ്രാണസഖി ഞാൻ പ്രാണസഖി പ്രാണസഖി പ്രാണ സഖി. Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. I would like to now welcome from the audience to interact with you because they would be so eagerly waiting. Thank you very much for the newly joined. Thank you, Bobin, for joining. Thank you, Noor Fatima, and all the others who joined recently. And those who would like to interact with Ranjit, yes, they are welcome. And you can just raise your virtual hand so that we can bring you onto the stage. And we have Soumya Santosh joining us. And welcome, Soumya, to Just Seriously Voicing Thoughts with Kriss Venugopal. The stage is all yours.
Hi, Soumya.
So,
Hi. Hi.
Oh, hi, hi, hi. I thought you would both sing the famous song which you did together, Appangal. I was waiting for that. When would that one come? So, just for the audience,
yeah, probably.
please.
Yeah, sure, sure. Why not? Why not? So,
Yeah.
this all happened when we were working in Radio Me. The morning show was happening, and we were playing the song Vijana Surabhi, which is a very famous song from Bachelor Party. I came running after the show asking Ranjit, why don't we do some kind of a spoof song? And Ranjit immediately agreed. We mixed the whole stuff and we took the lyrics from the music from the Bachelor Party song Vijana Surabhi. Then we took the lyrics from another song, Apangalam Badam, which is a folk song which was later on made famous by a movie, Ustad Hotel. And Ranjit, with his magic, composed the song and we both sang it. And by afternoon, we had recorded the video and that was aired also. It was more like അപ്പങ്ങളെമ്പാടും ഒറ്റയ്ക്ക് ചുട്ടമ്മായി അമ്മായി ചുട്ടത് മരുമോനേക്കായ്.
അപ്പങ്ങളെമ്പാടും ഒറ്റയ്ക്ക് ചുട്ടമ്മായി അമ്മായി ചുട്ടത്
ആ
മരുമോനിക്കായി.
അമ്മായി പൊന്നമ്മായി മരുമോന്റെ പൊന്നമ്മായി കച്ചോടം പൊട്ടിയപ്പോ വട്ടായി പോ
ഹായ് അമ്മായി പൊന്നമ്മായി തുന്നോണ്ട് പൊന്നമ്മായി കറ്റ കച്ചവടം പൊട്ടിയപ്പോ
പൊട്ടിയപ്പോ
കച്ച വട്ടായി
വട്ടായി
പോയി.
പോയി.
Actually, the whole scenario, I would say കുറച്ചും കൂടെ easier to, as in, when this was not planned at all, because there
It
was
was
one
just an
Vijana Surabhi
extempo.
track that time. Rahul Raj, that song was super hit at that point of time. So I was actually randomly taken. I think Chris only came up with the idea. Why can't we actually come up with a song? And then became at that point of time like a super viral at that point of time.
Yeah, I think within a week's time, we hit about 33,000 or something
I
like that.
know. And
Yeah,
it
it was
came,
fun.
yeah, it was Panduvarali. I was playing something, and then this whole idea came in.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you,
you very
Soumya,
much,
actually.
Abhya, for that question.
And
Yeah,
that
yeah.
video was
Yeah,
amazing. Like anytime you hear, it will take us to a different level. You
Yeah,
get transported to another world.
I know. Actually, I had called Gopes Brahma. He's the one actually who shot the video, and I just called because he was the one who actually made the whole Radio Me logo and all our creatives for the posters and all that. About that time, I had called Gopes saying that, bro, just come in. We have a song. See how we can shoot it. So he just came in and he shot a beautiful video. And thank you, yeah, Gopes. At this time, we are thankful to you also.
very true. I would say everyone who worked in that particular song have their own identities now. Like,
Yeah, yeah. In fact,
uh,
when we heard the song, your idea only was to actually put every RJ into that sequence. Yeah, I think the BGM portion, they all the RJs were coming in and just saying, just nodding their head and all that at that time.
right. Thank you, Sama. And we have Kabir. Yes, Kabir, the stage is open to you.
It's a request for the one more song, Ranjit,
One more song.
and both of you can sing together.
Oh
It'll
my,
be
oh
great
my.
for us.
I think it's ഞാൻ play harmonium play. You sing, na Chris. I'll play some.
Ranjit, if
No,
you
no,
are on
Ranjit.
head, that may the error may be because of your headphone. Are you on
No, I'm not
headphone?
using. I'm not using a headphones.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So yeah, yeah. Which one? Which one is the song you want to request, Kabir?
Oh, oh,
Oh, nice.
താമസമെന്തേ?
Why not? Why not?
താമസമെന്തേ, Chris? Yeah. Is it high for you?
I can't hear you. I really want you to sing. I will join in because
Oh,
I would like to take a back seat and
oh, no, no,
listen to your
no. We will do it
singing.
together. No, that is because.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You start off and I'll join you.
Ah, ഹേമാന്ത യാമിനിതൻ പൊൻവിളക്ക് പൊലിയാറായി മാകന്ദ ശാഖികളിൽ രാക്കിളികൾ മയങ്ങ തമസ്മെന്തേ വരുവാ
വരുവാൻ
പ്രാണസഖി
പ്രാണസഖി എന്റെ
എന്തേ ആ
മുന്നിൽ
താമസമെന്തേ
താമസമെന്തേ
അണയാ
അണയാൻ
പ്രേമമയി
എന്റെ
എന്റെ കണ്ണിൽ
കണ്ണിൽ താമസമെന്തേ
താമസമെന്തേ വരുവാ
വരുവാൻ.
ആഹാ ക്യാ ബാത് ഹൈ.
Yes, Beatrice, welcome, welcome.
Hi, thank you, Dr. Chris. So that was sounding really great, and
Thank you.
I, I, I'm hearing that the rhythm and the patterns are different, and they are very, they sound really great. But my question is, because I am in the U.S. and a lot of the music or instruments are drum for African American music, drum and bass. And so my
Yeah.
question is, what instruments you find or influence most the music that you compose?
Okay. So, thank you so much for the question. And so, I am coming from the southern side of India. It's called. Calling. I'm talking from Kerala. So we are basically in India precisely. We have like two kind of music generally: Hindustani and classical music, Carnatic music. I actually I'm whatever you're hearing. The sound is coming from an instrument called harmonium. It's called harmonium, and it's a mini version of a keyboard, which works with a, you could say, probably an accordion. Have you? I'm sure you've heard about accordion. So
Mhm.
it's another version of accordion, but it has a three octave three octave in the harmonium itself. It has 24 keys, and probably if you could search a harmonium, it is called a triple harmonium, is what you're hearing the sound right now.
Mhm.
And this basically like an acoustic piano. Is coming, you and I, you need to actually press one of the um, the
It
no
probably has more of a bellow, and the bellow
bellow. Yeah,
works. Yeah, the
yeah,
bellow
yeah.
works, and that's how the sound is made there.
Yeah, yeah. So you need to push that bellow, and so that the sound comes to this particular riff, and then it starts play. It's the air comes to the keys, and that's how. So you can just search the word harmonium in YouTube. You can see the instrument. So
Yeah, yeah.
the peculiarity of this instrument is basically it does not give you wow sound. If you just press one key, it will not give you like a wow sound. For example, a piano or a synthesizer will give you, if you just play three keys, it will give you like a complete different dimension when it comes to a sound. But only this, you
Hmm.
cannot opt different sounds from this instrument. It has only this kind of sound. So when I compose music, I only do compose only with this instrument, because the thing is, when I sing, I could actually relate to this harmoniums uh, in tonality, and then
Mm.
I compose music. So for
That's
example, if I
beautiful.
can, I can give you an example like this. So da, ra, da, ra, 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 ra.
Hmm.
So when I sing, it does not give you a wow feel, but then the melody also should actually make sense to the producer. When I am singing along with the harmonium, the melody has to be so strong that you are only enjoying the melody so much without any accompanying instrument. So
Mm.
if you the moment you started playing a guitars for the melody or the bass for a melody or drums for the melody, obviously it will give you a proper rhythm or anything. So this is basically starting from the scratch. That's how when you sit and compose with a harmonium, that is the whole challenge of it. But that's the beauty of it also at the same time.
Yes, that sounds so great. Thank you so much, Ranjit.
Thank you
This,
so much
You're welcome,
joining us.
Beatrice.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Beatrice, another aspect which I want, when you ask that harmonium part, Ranjit plays melodica such a, I would say, amazingly, that when movies started using melodica, probably I felt, oh, this Ranjit has done long back.
Mhm.
Do you have the melodica with you? Like,
Yeah,
can we
yeah,
have a piece? Yes, yes,
yeah.
yes.
I'll
So
just yeah.
I want everyone to enjoy that part also.
One second. Yeah. So for the melodica, you have to blow with your mouth. So there's a pipe. You can see it. Yeah, you can listen to it. Yeah. Hello.
Yeah, I think I was experiencing a glitch on the listening part.
Oh.
Uh, yeah, so thank you very much, Roj Ravi, for joining us. And moving on, before we have the next person who has a question for you, Ranjit, when you were actually starting off the studio and working with singers like different varied singers, I would specifically take the name of Badra because today I also happen to invite her
Yeah.
to share one day on Just Seriously.
Yeah.
Working with singers like Badra who have a very different kind of voice, I mean, what is your experience in working with singers like Badra or singers like Karthik who has a multi-language,
Yeah.
what you call the multi-tonality,
Yeah.
like
So,
Karthik? Yeah.
yeah. So, when it comes to movies, the movie character definitely, as you know, very well, when the director and the director and script writer will have a particular voice in their mind usually. Otherwise, at times the director will tell you that, okay, you know what, you suggest a voice or a singer, a vocalist. So basically, Badra, and for the movies, then I worked with Suraj Sandosh, then uh, uh, Harish Shivramakrishnan. So the thing is, the I when I the choice of vocals, it's completely depends upon the requirement. First of all, to be honest, and then if at all the director gives you an opportunity to choose, then you are lucky. So that is where the your choice will come. But working with Karthik, and I would say, since you have been working with bring out the name, and she's Badra's my. She's not just a singer. She's like my favorite person also. She's a great friend of mine, and the kind of flexibility and the kind of the thought process she has. And when it comes to that is very important, I feel, more than a singer is, I feel, from a composer's aspect, it's basically a when it comes to movies, at least, it's a basically more of a VST, I would say. It's not an offensive word, but I would say, because the director and the script writer will have exact idea this about the situation. And the in movies may you get basically have a lot of you have a certain situation for a movie song and all that. So you talk to the person, and basically how they adapt those situation, and how they bring out their best at that day. Especially, because we all are humans, right? We all have our own bad days and all that, but I've experienced that with a lot of singers, where in fact, I would say, with the sitara, I had done a song for, it was an independent song though, but I had done a song for with sitara, and we had to record 3 days because for healthy reasons, because she was not feeling well one day, and she was not able to go to one particular pitch at that point of time. So we had, since I have a studio here, I have the freedom to actually call the musician for multiple times and say that, okay, we can record, and different times and all that. So it is completely depend upon the project, first of all. And Badra, as a person, she has sung folk songs, she has sung melodious songs, she has sung dance numbers. So she's one person I would definitely say that she's a definitely a great promise for the industry, and she has a lot of things to do, I feel. Last 3 days back, we recorded a song for one of my friend, and it's a different experience altogether working with her. And very importantly, like how I would want to bring out your name again here, because when I come up with a script with you, and when I tell you, Chris, I want this, and you are more like a tool. You're like, you know what, Ranjit, I'll give you this, and I'll give you one more option like this. And if it doesn't work that way, you will give me one more option. I say, are you happy? Are you happy? That question is always comes from people like you and a
Mhm.
Badra. And I worked with so many people. I have never had a bad experience with, even Jyotsna for that matter. She had sung 4 lines for 8 hours with me. Hari Charan had sing 8 hours that Ayyappa song. Hari Shankar had sung more than 7 8 hours, because they all wanted to see me happy. And end of that, like, okay, I think you also know how intense our sessions are,
Yes, yes,
so
yes,
you
very
always look
much.
at my face and, okay, are you happy? That question is always there.
Yeah, we have Fanaki Handria, habit coach and daily transforming lives. And welcome, Fanaki. This,
Thank you so much, Dr. Chris, and thank you so much, Ranjit, for this melodious
Hi.
evening.
Hi, Fanaki.
Hello,
Hi.
and nice to know you. And
Thank
I'm
you
a
so
music lover, so the topic today is just amazing. It's on point what I want, what I love.
much.
And you have a wonderful voice as well.
Thank
But
you.
I have a question.
Thank you.
How do you get inspired as a composer? Do you have a technique to get inspired? Do you go out there to the park and sit and start to compose, or how do you do it?
To be honest, if I can be very, very, very honest, composing music is not important. Getting a producer is the most important thing. The life
All right.
at this point of time, I could say that, when I get to compose a situation, there I know that, because at this point of time in life or in this world, okay, composing songs is not the difficult thing. Basically, you get a producer, a good producer, to understand what we are doing. One, two, when we are producing something, is it reaching at the right place, at the right audience? So, this is what actually make us into a situation where we are doing something, a certain production, and it is going to somewhere else. And it is not, the visuals are not nice, or the songs are not working for some particular reason, which is, I know this is not subject which you had mentioned. I know you've actually asked me the inspiration, But
No,
I'm just
I would add to that, Ranjit, because the
yeah.
best inspiration is when the producer says yes. That's an
Yeah.
inspiration. You don't
And
need
the
to go to
one,
the park at all.
yes, exactly. And the producer gives me money. That's the inspiration where I get.
Yeah, Ranjit, one request, because I got a feedback. Many could not listen to you clearly. Can we have the headphones on so that probably we try with the headphones and one of your favorite songs, or a small piece in a melodica also.
Yeah, I will definitely. But just want to add to Fenaki's just the when I'm talking about the inspiration when it comes to music, on a serious note, I would say that definitely Indian classical music and Air Rahman, Raja, and then international wise, Yani and Dream Theater. I listen to all the genres because I was very blessed to be with people who are like Chris and Dave and a lot of people who are Manoj Matthew is one inspiration. He and who made me
Manoj
listen to a
Matthew
lot
of
of
Z
genres.
Network.
Z Network, yeah, he's right now working with. He's the director of Dubai Media at this point of time. He's joined as the director and events director for events and studio for Dubai Media. So and so there are so many names. I'm sure I've missed up a lot of names, but being in Dubai, that's one thing I really I was very fortunate to listen to because the kind of genres I've heard was immense, and that is one reason I cannot particularly take one person or one kind of music where I could say that this inspired. Because for me, as when I'm sitting as a freelance composer or a music composer, I will not be able to say that this particular genre inspires me. Well, when I am sitting as a freelancer, the people comes with different the different how would I say um, uh, um, uh, need, yeah, different need. So some commercials some commercials would need classical rock music, or some people would need blues music, for some people would need jazz, some people would need hip hop. So being as a freelance musician, I think to anyone who's listening to this as would want to be a composer should not be listening to one particular genre and specializing in it. If you want to be into the industry, you need to listen to all the genres, respect all the music, and be in the scene. Yeah.
Thank you so
Yeah, well,
much.
Thank
thank you,
you.
Fanaki. While Ranjit gets his headphones on, there was an instance where Ranjit was producing a particular commercial, and it was in Malayalam. And we had the client. I would like to refrain from taking the client's name, but it was a particular ad for a tea, and the client insisted so much that he wants the end tagline to be "tasty tea." And we both
Yeah.
I mean, went and banged our head on the walls, saying that how can we do this? But yeah, sometimes you'll have to comply to the client's needs, and you'll have to do something which you're not liking also. So being a
Yeah.
composer, voice artist, singer, you're forced to do things which probably you never want to do ever in life. But yes, that's a
I,
fact
I-
of life.
I'm sure you have multiple reasons or multiple occasions where you had to actually bang your head on the studio wall
Very
as
much.
like, okay, I'm doing this for just XYZ reason.
Yes. Do you have your headphones on?
Yeah. Is it clear now?
Can you play? And
Yeah.
probably
One
we'll.
second. One second. Is it clear?
Can't hear it clearly.
Yeah.
Uh,
One second. Is it?
yes. Very clear. Very clear.
What should I play? I mean, anything? I mean,
Anything you love.
okay. Mm. Pavakandan, I'll sing a song. താനേ തിരിഞ്ഞും മറിഞ്ഞും തൻ താമരമെത്തയിലൂരുണ്ടും മയക്കം വരാതെ മാനത്ത് കിടക്കുന്ന മധുമാസ സുന്ദര ചന്ദ്രലേഖ മധുമാസ സുന്ദര ചന്ദ്രലേഖ താനേ തിരിഞ്ഞും മറിഞ്ഞും തൻ താമരമെത്തയിലൂരുണ്ടും മയക്കം വരാതെ മാനത്ത് കിടക്കുന്നു മധുമാസ സുന്ദര ചന്ദ്രലേഖ. Hello.
Amazing, amazing, amazing is a word which I feel now would be overused. And could we have a piece on the melodica, which you're
Yeah.
so good at?
Yep. Clear, no?
Very clear, very clear. Beautiful, beautiful. And as the song which you played right now, it actually says "Dil to bacha hai," the mind is just a child, and how the song is so meaningful, and the music it's so soulful, and probably Rahat Saab and the composer, they would be so happy listening to you play it out. And we have exceeded the time, but still, I would last request if anyone has to share any thoughts or would like
Nikhil
to.
is here. Nikhil is a very good friend of mine. We used to work together in Big FM. He was the sales person at that time. Nikhil is a very, very good singer. Thank you, Nikhil, for coming and joining us.
Yeah, thank you very much. And anyone would like to share a thought? We'll take a parting note as such. Anybody from the audience side would like to interact or probably would like to listen to another song from you?
I think I should listen to you. Any of your, you know.
Yes, we have Kabir joining.
Yeah.
Yes, Kabir.
Because of the glitch, I had to go. Now the instrument, I was able to hear the instrument properly. So, like the last, if you can give, Chris can give the voice and the name of the instrument,
Dil to bacha hai ji. Melodica. Melodica.
melodica. So, I think everyone would love to hear that.
Yeah. Okay.
But,
Should I play
but
something else?
Dil to bacha hai ji is like a bit too high for me. Kabir. That's too high.
In anything with melodica, Chris.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Okay. പറഞ്ഞോളൂ ഏതാ ഞാൻ പ്ലേ
അല്ല, ദിൽ to ബച്ചായി ji then നോക്കാം.
ഓക്കെ ഓക്കെ Is it high for you?
A bit. Mm, 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 mm. ऐसी उलझी नजर उनसे हटती नहीं, दांत से रेशमी डोर कटती नहीं, कारी बदरी जवानी की छटती नहीं, चेहरे की रंगत उड़ने लगी है, डर लगता है तन्हा सोने में जी, दिल तो बच्चा है जी, दिल तो बच्चा है जी, हाँ थोड़ा कच्चा है जी, हाँ दिल तो बच्चा है जी. Thank you very much. And
Thank you,
more
Kabir.
than seriously, I would really say, seriously, can we just talk seriously?
We can never.
It is really a pleasure having you with
Same
us, and
here.
it's an honor to have a 17-year-old, 17 years experienced music composer, music director, owner of my studio, and a person so hearty and so very dear to me, and would like to be and work with you again and again, and would like to see you come here again very soon. Thank you very much for joining, Ranjit, and thank you very much all the audience who have joined us. Your parting notes, Ranjit.
Thank you so much, the entire team. Actually, you guys are amazing. You've been following me up, by the group, and we did a technical session yesterday and day before yesterday, and the entire teamwork is very important, as we always say, because radio actually give me that the whole idea of how you have to work on a timeline. And you're one person, Chris, is a true leader, and
Thank you very
because
much. Thank
giving
you very
me
much.
not giving me a lot of pressure, but the end of the day the work has to go with a lot of pleasure. When you listen to it on air, you feel so happy. And one reason I would say I'm so happy to again talking to you once again, and talking about my 17 years. I would say the other way. I'm just 17-year-old, and I have a long way to go. And
Oh,
I
so
would
you're
say,
2 years elder to me.
I know. Oh, really? No, you're 30-year-old. Because when I was born, I've been hearing about you.
Yes, Sakshi. Yes, your parting notes, please.
Yeah, so thank you so much actually inviting me on such a precious platform, and it's
Thank
a
you. Thank
great
you.
honor to be here and listening to been a lot of people were listening to me. And I'm sure when we put this on a platform also, I don't know whether people are hearing it or not hearing it, or that doesn't matter. Like I always say, if one for me one person does matter, and I always respect that one person who took time for us to actually, for that time is very very important at this point. It's this point of time in the world, because we all are running out of time. And thank you so much for giving us that 1 hour or 1.5, almost 1.5 hour you're touching
Yes,
us.
yes.
Thank you so much for giving that time of your life.
Yeah, yeah. I thank each and everyone who have been there since the beginning. Thank you very much, Kabir and Semi and Amin, for the coordination and the teamwork. And Sakshi, yes, you have anything to share, please?
Yeah, I'll just quickly take a minute to say, Dr. Chris, you're just amazing. And there were some glitches happening, so I wasn't able to, be there in a whole session. But I enjoyed, like, I've all your watches, you're so seriously voicing thoughts, first one with Kapir, another, and they were so amazing. And this is about voice and all. And me and Beatrice luckily got a chance to even had got one class, but got one class from you. So that was super bliss. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very
Thank you so
much.
much, Sakshi. Thank you so much. Means
Thank
a
you.
lot. Uh-huh.
So, just seriously, voicing thoughts with me, Kriss Venugopal, every Thursday, 9:30. Please do join us and support us. And we would also would like to share our thoughts with you. And we also want you to share your thoughts with us because thoughts does matter. Just seriously, voicing thoughts, signing off. It's me, Kriss Venugopal. Thank you very much and good night. Thank you, Ranjit.